Alright everybody, welcome, we're here, we're back. Last week's show wasn't uploaded because I'm an idiot, uploaded it to the wrong channel.
Good job.
Yeah, so we'll do it this week. I was uploaded this week. There'll be two parts this week. There'll be Recon Citizen revamp or the review of CitizenCon, and then there'll be the talking about the rest of the gaming today. And then I don't think there's not really much CIG Citizen news, is there? We got a couple of patches, but
Yeah, no. They're still working on things.
yeah, I figured there must be no news because all the YouTubers are trying to stir up drama. Let's jump into it. So guys, Fez, have you heard Elon Musk's response about gaming and DEI?
I'm pretty sure that always works out, right?
Yeah. They're just, they're still trying to find their modern audience. But this was at a Trump rally, and someone asked Elon about his view on gaming and whether or not he's actually thought about starting up a game studio. I presume you can see the screen.
Interesting.
So I was wondering, with recent flops like
make video games great again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. With recent flops like Conquered and Dustborn, games are prioritizing pronouns and things like that instead of actual gameplay. Yeah. So I was wondering, have you ever thought about making your own gaming studio and making an impact in the industry?
You know, if there's one thing I could say that would be a fun thing to do, it would be to start a gaming studio. Because I do actually intrinsically love video games. And I think actually if you apply sort of AI to video games, you could really make it just some incredible video games. So yeah, I think just generally for content, the problem with like the sort of DEI and the woke mind virus is that it kills the art. It's just like as soon as when you can see something that is forcibly imposed on the story and it's discordant, it destroys the art. And now it's hard to enjoy the story. It kicks you out of the story because you can just feel that you're being lectured.
We're seeing it in movies and TV and all that kind of stuff. It's like, let me just enjoy my video games.
Exactly. I know, come on. Not video games, too. All right.
So that's his response regarding video gaming and the DEI and whatnot. So the Halo composer, Marty O'Donnell, has come out and said that if Elon Musk starts up a gaming studio, he'll come out of retirement.
The man, the myth, and the legend.
Yeah, we're all big Halo fans here. Used to be big Halo fans. So at the end of the day, this is kind of interesting. I must admit, this piqued my interest a little bit. But let's see what it has to say. Marty O'Donnell, the composer of the Mythic 2, Oni, Halo, and Destiny, and who knows, maybe I can get him to do my game, shared that he would come out of retirement if Elon Musk decided to start a video game studio. O'Donnell's comment came in the wake of Musk being asked if he would start a video game company in the wake of the woke mind virus affecting video game industry. During a town hall, Musk said, with recent flops like Concord... Musk was asked, with recent flops like Concord, Dustborn, games are prioritizing pronouns and things like that instead of actual gameplay. So I was wondering, have you ever thought about making your own gaming studio, which is obviously the video that we just watched. So O'Donnell initially replied to the videos writing on X, so I retired from video games because I've had to fight MS. Microsoft Studios? Maybe? Bungie and Sony. However, I clicked the button. However, if anyone could coax me back, it would be Elon Musk. Give me a call. So in subsequent posts, Donald wrote, I'm in, call me, let's start a game studio. O'Donnell shared an interview with Andrew Kapas on his Andrew Says YouTube channel that he was fighting with the corporate execs pushing the woke agenda as far back as Halo 2. He said that I'm starting to see a little bit even during our Halo 2, which goes back quite a ways. We're making Halo 2 in 2002, 2003, which was close enough after 9/11. You know the story of Halo is being about this group of religious zealots that initially will commit suicide to keep their religion going. That's the characters that we had for the Covenant. He then shared that started making Microsoft a little bit nervous because they felt like there could be some backlash from the Muslim community. Funny how they care about the Muslim community but no other sort of communities, right? Like, no one sits there and says, like, oh my god, we can't make a video game where we put Christians in a bad light because there might be some backlash, right? Don't think about it too much, just consume product. In the Middle East, that maybe this could be seen as Islamophobic. All of a sudden, we were being asked to be very careful about some of the names or people and references of phrases. And then, obviously, the interview is on the Buck Place if you guys want to read it. And I must admit, I probably will watch this video later. I didn't even know about this video. But it's definitely something that, yeah, I would be... I would be interested. By the way, can I follow him too, by the way? Because I might need him for a job.
Do you have $30 million laying around?
Oh, I don't know what it costs. This is the thing. I did email or DM Petro that does Star Citizen asking roughly what it would cost. But he never got back to me.
I'm not surprised.
Well, actually, to be honest, no, actually, Petro is normally really good getting back to me. But it was right before SitCon, so I'm not sure how busy he was. He might have just overlooked it. I don't know. Maybe he saw some of my tweets and think I don't know, God knows, insert term here. But, you know, I don't know if some of my tweets have maybe upset him or what, but I was going to say, but yeah, I've talked to Petro in the past and he's been fantastic. But this time, like I said, I really do think it was just the fact that it was just right before SitCon, and he was doing a lot of the music, I think, for CitizenCon. But yeah, at the end of the day, you know, like, I don't know, what are your thoughts on this? Like, the Halo music was pretty epic, man. What are your thoughts?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Musk starting a gaming studio, or is this a case of the fact that we're putting all of our hopes and dreams on one guy?
I mean, so far, I haven't seen anything bad from Musk yet.
No, and I don't think it ever will. Well, if it is, it's probably fabricated. But what I was going to say was, like, so in Australia, we have like 3 major shopping centres. Aldi, Woolworths, Coles. Back in the day, we used to have 9 or 10. And the prices were drastically reduced. The reason why the prices were reduced was because of competition. Over the years, we've removed those competitions. We've removed things like Buy Low, Jack and Slashers, blah, blah, blah. They've been brought out by Coles and Woolworths, and subsequently, Coles and Woolworths now has less competition, so they can put their prices up again. I worry that we're doing the same thing in the gaming studio or just everything in general. Like, you know, like we're going through and we're supporting Elon Musk with all these endeavors, like Twitter and everything like that. And don't get me wrong, he's done a great job. But I do worry that, you know, like, is this going to be a case of we're building this guy up too much and then, like, later he might flip? You know, is it better to have 4 or 5 investors or guys that are, you know, going on about the woke mind virus, so to speak, rather than just having one big one? Are we putting all of our eggs into one basket, is what I'm saying. You know. That's my only catch is I just worry how this will affect us in the future if, like, we're all so reliant on just one guy for everything. Apart from that, what are your thoughts?
Well, if he makes a game it better have guns, lots of guns.
Well, this is the thing, right? Some of us in this very Discord or in this very call are actually making video games. Like, if he was to go through and to say, like, hey, I'm thinking about starting up a studio, maybe we can do some outsourcing, some video game industry. If you want someone to build you assets for a game, I'll be there. Done. I don't know if I'd sign over the company that I'm building up to do it, but I have a pretty, I don't know, you've seen the blueprints for a lot of the stuff. What are your thoughts on the video game I'm making? Do you think it's going to be fun?
Well, at the moment, no.
No.
But it's getting there.
Yeah, so I'm not talking about what it looks like at the moment, right? But like,
I know. I'm more messing with you.
Yeah, but the overall idea, do you think like the idea where like this world with all myths and legends and you can basically do trade, you can do cargo running, and it's like an Earth-sized planet. Do you think that's a bad thing? Do you think that'll be boring, or do you think it'll be fun? I don't want to go into too much detail, obviously, because someone might steal
It's
the idea. But...
not going to be a bad thing, but we're going to have to spice it up a bit because we don't want it to feel like another generic game out there, just with a different like hat on though.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a reskin of Star Citizen, is what he's saying, I think.
Well, a reskin of like any game, really. I mean, we have to make it feel unique and actually stand out.
Well, like for
So
example,
people will notice.
Well, this is the thing, right? Like, if you could go buy a ship and become a pirate, but actually do piracy. Like, you could actually go there and actually be there and actually attack ships, board them, take the ships. You could go through and you could sink it if you didn't want it. You could take it and claim it's yours. You could rebrand it. Like Skull and Bones, but actual piracy. Like, that's... I know we're off the beaten track a little bit here, but that's what I say, like, that's the idea of what we're going for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That sounds like fun, doesn't it?
I mean, yeah, that does sound fun and like interesting, and it might actually force me to actually partake in PvP for once.
But yeah, but that's what I say, like, if Elon Musk wants to start like a game studio where he like sells assets and stuff like that, because he's just talking about using AI and stuff as well, right? Like, I need a whole bunch of assets, mate. Like, I've already spent like $150 to $200 this week just on like a town pack and a couple of creatures, but I need like dynamic weather, all this sort of stuff needs to be added yet. So, but yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the idea of him doing something with like a game studio, but like I say, I just worry that we're putting all of our eggs into one basket. That's all. But I might have to hit up Marty and see if I just need a rough price of what it costs for like a composer to do some music. But anyway. Alright, jumping on to the next topic. Sweet Baby Inc. developer Unknown9 awakens, sees peak player count decline by over 40% in the first week. So, Reflector Entertainment and Batty Nocum's Unknown9 Awakening, which was developed by Sweet Baby Inc., has already seen its peak player count decline by 40% in just its first week on Steam. The game hit an all-time peak concurrent players of 285 on Friday, the 18th of October, but has last seen that number dropped throughout the week. The last 24 hours, the peak players has been 166. We kind of knew this game was not going to do well. Like, it's literally made by Sweet Baby Inc. So, like, the graphics and all that look good. But, like, just people don't want to have, like, anybody preaching to them about politics. and this is sort of going back to the topic here, where this guy is saying to Elon Musk, you know, like at the end of the day, we just want gaming that's gaming. We don't want to hear about pronouns. We don't want to hear about, you know, politics or anything like that. We just want to have some fun playing video games. But I don't know. What are your thoughts on the Unknown Awakening? There were a few memes that went around on the internet that were pretty brutal. People were going through and were giving it all sorts of names. So Unknown Awakening got sort of memed into oblivion. So there's people like here throwing it in the bin for SpongeBob, joining, you know, Skull and Bones and Suicide Squad and Concord and stuff like that. There was also there was a whole bunch of people that were making up like AI art, calling it like unknown trash and stuff. See if I can find it. I can't seem to find any of it now. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this first? While I look for this, what are your thoughts on the Unknown Awakening? Did you know it was coming out? Are you...
Honestly, this is the first time I'm just now hearing of it, actually.
I
have no idea what it's even about either.
No one really does. We have covered it. We've covered it a few times, but you know, it's that memorable. He's literally forgotten.
Right. So it's that one game that we talked about, but it wasn't so important that I actually forgot all about it. Huh?
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, it's basically made by Sweet Baby Inc., which is the company that's literally gone through and done all this, you know, DEI shit and stuff like that. So is there any shock that it is woke? No, no shock at all, to be honest. But yeah. But anyway, anything else you want to add before we jump on to the next topic?
No, not really.
Guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Alright, let's jump on to the next one. Dragon Age, the Veilguard. Do you remember this game? By any chance, Ferrets?
Actually, Dragon Age does ring a bell.
Yeah. So we have covered this in the past a bit. This is the one that gives you top scars for having your boobs removed.
What? Oh, I remember this now. Okay.
Yeah. So basically what happens is that Dragon Age the Veilguard has released and it's been described as having a thin coat of paint and borderlines soft reboot. YouTuber Neo Knight, who claims to have played over 7 hours of Dragon Age the Veilguard, described the game as having a thin coat of paint. In recent upload to YouTube, Neo Knight says, "So with Dragon Age the Veilguard, there's been a lot of attempts, in my opinion, to convince the general public that this game is something that it really isn't, to conceive you to reject the evidence of your eyes and your ears, and what's been seen in the trailers, blah, 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 blah." And someone who has played the game for about 7 hours a few weeks ago, I guess my thesis statement is that it isn't. A statement here it is that it isn't. Whatever. I think coat of paint is more or less exactly what Veilguard is long offering to fans. He shared that the game will be compared to God of War 2018. He said that the game's combat and exploration is full-blown, at least 85% of God of War's 2008 worship. The new Dragon Age is all about action, building up a rage meter, and relentless and blah blah blah. But yeah, like I say, like, to be honest, it's just, I don't know, it's just, I'm just not interested in like games that deal with politics, to be honest. But the streamers critical of BioWare's Dragon Age the Veilguard have not been given review codes. In fact, Luke Stevens, even one of big YouTuber for gaming channels, actually never got review codes either. So I don't know if it's necessarily people being critical or if they've just been really, really specific about who they gave review codes to. But YouTuber Wolfheart Fire FPS reported that at least 3 streamers and YouTubers that were critical of Dragon Age, the Veilguard, during initial playtests have not been given review codes to the game. He added, please keep in mind, folks, this does not mean that any more critical opinions is better or more thoughtful, truthful than those who have been more positive, just simply pointing out how marketing works. Which, to be honest, is literally what we expect, right? Like, if you're going to sit there and bag out EA, for example, or BioWare, like, are you really that shocked that they don't turn around and give you a review code? No, we expect this to happen. This is why people like me have a big problem with streamers and gaming channels getting review codes. It's because at the end of the day, it's literally this. It's pay for like positive reviews. Because here's the thing: if you're not positive about the game, next time they have a game that comes out, you're not going to get a code. But YouTube speculates BioWare is attempting to manipulate reviews by not handing out review codes to creators critical of the game. YouTuber Fellatry Life speculated that BioWare is attempting to manipulate reviews by handing out review codes. In a recent uploaded video to YouTube, Feralix noted that BioWare and its parent company EA were not providing review codes to individuals who were mildly critical of the game during a playtest, and echoed the comments made by the Wolfheart FPS. Wolfheart wrote, 3 creators, myself included, were a bit more critical than others when the hands on Dragon Age of Veilguard. Not single one of us has been getting a review code. But like I say, I think that's just them being specifically very, very strict with who they give the review codes to. I think there was like 3 codes were given out to one country in Europe or something, and that was it. But here's the thing, is if they're not giving out the review codes to the streamers and the gamers, makes you wonder how bad this game really is. Like, the only way you would not want to give out a review code to your game is if you're worried people are going to dog it.
Either that, or they could be taking CIG's approach, and they just don't want to show it because of spoilers.
Doubt it. See, the thing is that CIG still does rely on marketing with players. It's just that you're playing the persistent universe and not Squadron 42. That is vastly different than not actually showing you the game at all. And I presume when Squadron 42 comes out, they will give it to streamers for review.
God, that's going to piss so many people off.
Well, they'll probably also give it to backers too. I imagine everybody will probably get Demo 1, like Chapter 1, pretty soonish.
But I feel like the backers especially should have access to a review version of the game.
After noting this, Fellow Life observed that many individuals had expressed they would wait for reviews of the game before deciding to make a purchase. And this is the thing too, right? Is at the end of the day, a lot of these games are actually advertised from streamers and gamers. People that play games on stream and stuff like that. Look at Helldivers, for example, right? Very little marketing, but it was a viral marketing campaign because streamers and gamers started playing it and talking about it. But here's the thing, if you're stopping people from playing your game by not giving them review codes, well then, you know, like how are you expecting anyone to like hear about your game to play it? So like I say, I think this is all bad. I don't think this is good. The only reason you'd not want to give out review codes to streamers and to gaming channels is because you're worried about what they'll say. But the Dragon Age the Veilguard described as a piece of garbage and a tombstone of BioWare. Spanish-speaking streamer Natalia, I'm going to get that name wrong and I'm going to try, just blasted Dragon Age the Veilguard after obtaining a review copy by allegedly informing the company she was a non-binary woman. That worked. In an initial post to X, as translated via Google's automatic translate function, Sova wrote, "Guess who got a review code from Dragon Age the Veilguard? BioWare just sold its soul to the devil. I just had to say that I was non-binary woman, and they gave it to me. Get ready for the mega review soon or tomorrow." One of Sarah's comments came in the wake of YouTuber Wolfheart FPS, stating that creators who were negative about the game during the initial playtest were not given review codes, as we've said. But yeah. She's wrote, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Oof. Here we go. Next she wrote, character movement very robotic, lacks animation. The script doesn't make sense, neither do the quests. From one place or another, killing bugs. Too much focus on homosexuality, lesbians, drags, race swap everywhere. And then she summarized, it's fucking piece of garbage as an RPG. Stay away from this game. Don't even buy it on sale. It's a piece of petrifaction created by people who have no effing idea about video games. Uninstalled already. You fuck your mother. I kind of like her. She's got spark. Giving her a follow.
So I will say I personally don't have any issues with lesbians. I mean, you know, that's just my own personal view, though. I'm just saying.
My only problem with lesbians is that they don't let me watch. New Dragon Age the Veilguard gameplay confirms the game is ultra woke. With the review embargo released, the Dragon Age the Veilguard, number of physical copies already started making their way into hands of gamers. Earlier this month, playtesters broke the NDA and informed YouTuber Naru that the game was ultra woke and included the Kotori companion Trash, informing the player character that she is non-binary. He said, she told me that I'm a non-binary person. How the hell is that a fantasy game in Teases have the world... Sorry, a fantasy game in the Teases have the word non-binary? Some of these people need to run their thing through spell check. She said that I don't like men, I don't like women, I identify as non-binary. So, yeah, you can have a non-binary NPC now. But YouTube speculates that BioWare is attempting to manipulate reviews by not handing out review copies, which we've already spoken about. So, after all that, do you want to go and buy BioWare's new game? Is it making you feel...
I totally want to use my money on that, yeah. Totally.
But yeah, this is the game where you can go through and you can put top scars and stuff on your character and stuff. By the way, it's also a game where supposedly magic exists. So like if you were born in the wrong body and you were trans, wouldn't you just be able to do a magic spell to make your body female?
God, if a magic existed in this world, let's just say I would be abusing the fuck out of it.
Like, you can literally see in the screenshot here, body scars.
I would never leave my bedroom.
What were you saying? Well, hang on, I missed this. What were you saying?
I said that I would never leave my bedroom.
Yeah, for what? With what?
Oh, what now?
I'm sorry, I was sort of trying to read something. What were you saying about if you could become female, you'd never leave your bedroom?
No, I said if magic was real and in our world, I would never leave my bedroom.
No, you
I
just be
would
able to
be
create everything you wanted.
abusing it. I
Yeah.
mean, I would be abusing my magical powers left and right. Like,
But that's the point, right? Like, if it's a world where magic exists, why do you have scars?
you want me to say something that's a little bit controversial?
Sure. I think I've said enough for both of us, but sure.
It's because whether people want to admit it or not, it's a sexual fetish.
Well, that's true too. Yeah. Yeah. So there are transgender people around, yes, but there are also people that are fetishizing or have a fetish for like things like scars and stuff like that. This is where it sort of gets into the topic of Mr. Beast and his person, he's guy that the guy, girl, whatever, that he was on the show with. I don't think that. I think his name is Chris. I think it was. I don't think he was actually trans. I think he was actually he suffered from a fetish. But that's my opinion. Yeah, and look, we all have fetishes. It's all good, you know. I fetishize Asian women. Not gonna lie, you've probably guessed. I have a bit of a fetish for Asian women, ferrets.
I would have never have known. To not as if you send me the pictures every now and then.
Well, you know, like all Korean cheerleading. Although you gotta admit, those Korean cheerleading, like, damn, bro, like, damn.
Oh, they could be cheering to something else if you work hard enough.
Oh, I might go to Korea. Alright, Dragon Age the Veilguard. Oh, by the way, I'm thinking about going to Tokyo for a holiday. Dragon Age the Veilguard. What are your thoughts? You're interested? Passing? Gotta go and get top scars?
I've never actually been a fan of Dragon Age games, but then again, I never even tried it either, so I can't really say.
Does the top scars make you want to play?
Totally, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright guys, let's know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Let's go jump on to the next one. Sweet Baby Inc. CEO and co-founder admits a physical obstruction to Nintendo's browser, in a shocking unearthed interview. So, unlike what we both thought when we first read that, she's not interested in sexually attracting to a browser. She's talking about Boza. Sweet Baby Inc. co-founder and CEO Kim Blair, the name that has come to define controversy in the gaming space, has just become a lot more controversial in a 6-year-old podcast interview unearthed by YouTube Masters of TDS and Writing Review, who runs the Gothic Therapy YouTube channel. Blair admitted to being physically attracted to Nintendo's character Bowser, the dragon turtle creature. She claimed...
So, she's a furry confirmed then, I guess?
I don't know.
No. Not a furry. Technically she would be considered a scaly, since Bowser is a lizard.
Right. I don't want to know how you know these terms.
I live on Reddit.
That's true. She then claimed that the antelopes called Curse were the most attractive non-binary humans, mammals, before bragging that she has the skull of one in her room. God knows what she does with it every night. If Kim Blair's name sounds familiar to you, it's because she's our company, Sweet Baby Inc., has been the founder, forefront of what gamers known as Gamergate 2. But yeah, it's a little bit funny how, like, this chick has doesn't want guys to pervert women, but she's more than happy to have Bowser, and to have a fetish or an interest in Bowser. So just anybody that's not aware, that's Bowser there in the background. Yeah, that's a thing apparently. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I personally don't see what's attractive about Bowser. I mean,
Well, he's getting
maybe
around in bondage gear, so maybe there's that. Maybe she's a secret BDSM.
maybe she likes roleplay and wants Bowser to take her away to his castle.
Well,
I
actually,
don't know.
doesn't he kidnap the princess?
Yes, every game he kidnaps a princess
Oh my god,
and holds her against her will in a castle.
she has SA fantasies. I'm calling it now.
Oh no. Oh no. I don't need this image in my head, especially with Bowser.
I'm betting you that $100 that's what it is. She
I'm
has
not saying nothing.
she has RAPE fantasies or
Oh
kidnap
no.
fantasies. She's a closet BDSM.
So her favorite movie was 50 Shades of Grey?
I bet you, not ironically, probably was.
I, why do I even know that?
Like, although to be honest, dude, like there were a lot of women whose favorite show was 50 Shades of Grey. To be honest, but yeah,
True, there were a lot of actual memes that actually came out when
well,
that book came out, so I'm not very surprised.
well, they reckon 2/3 of women have RAPE fantasies.
I mean, is it? I, I mean, isn't it a bit of counterproductive? Because I mean, like, if you have a lot of fantasies about it, then is it even like, considered
No,
that anymore? I mean,
no, it's not. But here's the thing: the women, the feminists, the ones that don't need no strong man, tend to be the ones that have it the most.
I wouldn't know.
I dated a chick that had one. That had it. It was interesting, to say the least. She loved choking, and she loved that. Like she literally said to me once, she's like, "I'm just going to send you a text message when I'm home alone. You know what to do."
So the next topic that we're going to be talking about is how this video got monetized and removed.
Well, the videos aren't monetized in the
And
first place, but
and then the topic after that is what happened to my YouTube channel? It is now gone.
but that's what I say. Like at the end of the day, I never did anything, right? But I was always afraid that I'll get sued later, or get me too'd. But yeah, like they reckon 2/3 of women actually have SA fantasies. I've known several women that have admitted that like 50 Shades of Grey is their favorite movie. There was a guy that I was talking to that worked in a cinema. He said that the worst day or the worst week of work was the first week when 50 Shades of Grey came out. He was just like cleaning up the cinema after the women were there watching that movie. He said it was just embarrassing how many there were just like, yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Like,
so
like there were women that were caught finger banging themselves in the cinemas to that movie.
I'm happy that I'm not that bold or that stupid. I don't know.
Hang on, let me. Like this video is already not going to be monetized already, but typicate woman called.
Yeah, I was completely right when I told myself today was definitely the weirdest day I've ever had so far. And yeah, it keeps getting weirder.
So I literally typed women watching 50 Shades of Grey arrested for masturbation. Here we go. That's one way to wind up. Women 33 watching 50 Grades of Grey arrested for masturbation at a movie theater in Mexico during the SM Field drama. The woman watching 50 Shades of Grey at the theater in Mexico got taken out of handcuffs because she went with Christian Grey's imposter. Handcuffs, not because she went with a Christian Grey imposter. The movie-going cinema called the police after noticing a woman masturbating during the movie. The unmarried 33-year-old had managed to secure herself a prime seat in the 20th row at the theatre to watch the blockbuster. The woman had gone to see the film 2 days after its release, Valentine's Day. Police arrived at the cinema and arrested the woman for public indecency. Like I say, girls were literally finger banging themselves in the... And by the way, I have seen 50 Shades of Grey. It's really not that good. But, you know. But yeah.
I've probably actually seen the bad videos on the PH.
I was going to say, 50 Shades of Grey is like a weekend for me.
50 Grades of 50 Shades of Grey. It's like a PG-13 version of a pornograph film for stay-at-home moms.
Yeah, pretty much. It's for winos and single mums that couldn't get it. But anyway.
It's for the moms who think that they can actually get action but don't.
Yeah. But anyway.
I'm sorry, I've had a really weird day, so I'm just...
Do you want to talk about
that?
We probably shouldn't talk about that.
No. Like I told him, it's in the past. It was a sore topic. We're just gonna move on and forget it even happened. So
yeah. Well, hopefully you don't have a daughter. But like I say, look, at the end of the day.
Wow.
It's funny. I had a guy that I was interviewing, and I turned around and I said to him, he said he had a kid, and I said, is it male or female? And he said male. And I turned around and I said to him, at least you got the sex right. Anyway. Anything else we want to comment on this before we, upload this video and lose my YouTube channel?
Well, it was nice knowing you, but I think we might get kidnapped by the DEI faction. So yep. So long, man.
Yeah, but that's how I reckon she has this fetish for like bondage and stuff. That's what I reckon it is. Like you look at Bowser, like he literally gets around in BDSM gear. So, like he's got like the wrist cuffs and like the bondage harness and stuff on. I think that's what it is. Alright guys, that's what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Alright, no rest for the wicked developer predicts AAA game developers will continue to struggle and explains why. Yeah, it's because they keep making shit games. No rest for the wicked developer Thomas Mahal so shares his predictions that AAA video game developers will continue to struggle and explains why. In a post, Morales says that it's absolutely no surprise to me that a load of AAA studios have been struggling lately, and my prediction is that they won't really get any better time soon. He then explains, I know it sounds absurd. Most of the game studios out there hit a big hit at one point, or just a small group of passionate folks that wanted to make games together. In a lot of cases, we're just friends. And if they were lucky, they found out the process that they could actually make a great game together. And then the games they created struck a chord, and now they scale up and become massive studios. And then lots of other folks came in and demanded that this and that, and unknowingly changed the culture. Well, that's the interesting thing, right? Is that at the end of the day, like, let's face it, Halo was originally made by like 10 to 15 guys or 20 guys, and it was all men.
It almost seems as if a man knows how to entertain other... Well, I mean, yeah, because they also can't drive either, so...
Well, shit. But what I was going to say was, like, at the end of the day, like, for example, all these allegations and stuff that go against men at these offices, right? Don't get me wrong, the guy's a piece of shit for doing it. But also, let's face it, if it's a studio full of guys, there's no SA going on. Who are they going to be SA? The worst thing that can happen is you go out drinking after work, get drunk, and they pick some chick up at a bar. If that's the case, it's outside of work hours anyway, so there's no problems with it. But you start getting a whole bunch of women running around being office admins and stuff like that, well then that's when you start getting problems. Hey, what do you think about this name for a game studio? White Man Only. Or just Men Make Games. MGM.
Manly game in the manly gaming and the manly gaming industries.
I like Men Make Games. So MMG.
No, the men. The men forge games.
But yeah, at the end of the day, like, you know, like he's sort of like sitting here and he's sort of hitting the nail on the head. But he's also being very, very careful what he says. He's alluding to the fact that these other people have come into the gaming industry and have ruined it, but he's not directly saying it. So, you know. Let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Sonic X Shadow Generations tops 1 million sales and impresses audience ahead of holidays. So the blue blur is back on consoles with another gaming blazing into retail stores. Time for the holidays. But does Sonic the Hedgehog pull off another loop-de-loop of grandeur, or is this time towards trash processing? Sonic the Generations dropped this Friday, and we were able to secure a copy from Nintendo Switch. For those who are not aware, Sonic X Studios is a re-release master of the Sonic generation that was originally came out in 2011 during the days of the Xbox 360, PS3 and the 3DS. So before we do a final and more thoughtful review, here are the first impressions. First of all, Shadow Generations is a fun addition to the digital collection. Graphically, the upgrades are what you would expect. We noticed that some of the scenes, and like the one with the Rogue, aren't as high quality and look more like the original Sonic. And the infamous characters to Rogue's changer model seems that he will fly over the head of people that aren't looking for them. Shadow Generations tells a remixed version of the Shadow's life with an element called the Time Eater, taking players through the greatest hits of the story. All I know is it work, and it doesn't seem like it is. I remember playing the age-old Sonic when I used to go to the dentist. They used to have a gaming room, and one of the things they had in there was a PlayStation. It was great. I used to go there and then go and get the teeth checked. What are your thoughts, Ferrets? You don't own a 3DS or a Nintendo Switch, do you?
I used to have a Nintendo DS years ago.
Yeah, I don't think they're around anymore.
No, it's been a while.
Alright guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Rumour, Sucker Punch gutted and repurposed Ghost of Tsushima sequel for Ghost of Yeti. A new rumour alleges that Sucker Punch Studio, the developer of Ghost of Tsushima and the upcoming Ghost of Yeti, gutted and repurposed a plan of Ghost of Tsushima sequel and created Ghost of Yeti out of its bones.
There used to be a movie called A Sucker Punch. It was actually pretty good. You should not look it up.
I know of it, but I haven't watched
definitely
it.
like it.
Yeah.
It's very entertaining. God damn it, gamers.
Well, I'm trying to get through these because I want to get back to my game dev.
It's only been like half an hour, I think. I don't know.
No, but I'm really enjoying it. Anyway, the latest rumour comes from the YouTube Idamian, who first shared a source informing him that Sony Japan is pissed off about being kept in the dark with the sudden changes of the game. He added that it doesn't seem like there's a huge it does seem like there's a huge disconnect between what Sucker Punch knew about this Ghost sequel versus what Sony PRTM knew. Do I think they went through and repurposed this game? And probably they probably would have started making Ghost of Tsushima 2 literally when the game went live for Ghost of Tsushima. Especially seeing that amount of people that went and played it, they probably jumped on it pretty quick. Do I think they probably went through and repurposed it? Yeah, 100%. What are your thoughts? You reckon they would have?
Oh, probably.
Yeah. It's like, especially if your game has not started being in development much, it doesn't take much to repurpose it.
I don't know.
But let us know thoughts in the comment. Tomb Raider: Legend of Lara Croft fails to chart on Netflix's top 10 list.
And that's not even hard to do either.
No. And to be honest, it's Tomb Raider, right? Should be easy. The Legend of Lara Croft appears to be a massive failure as the show failed to chart on Netflix's top 10 list for the week. The show failed to generate even 1.8 million views, which was the amount of views that Prison Break Season 1 generated for the week of October 7th to 13th, 2004. So basically a show that's been out for years did better than the new Tomb Raider. Not only did the show not chart in its first week, but failed to chart in its second week as well. Of note, the animation series Gundam Requiem for Vengeance Series 1 did chart with 2.4 million views. So it's not surprising the show did not chart and give initial reactions to the show's first trailer, which was released back in August, were overwhelmingly negative, as writing the first trailer has over 17,000 dislikes to just 10,000 likes. So most of the actual comments are things like, I see Lara is failing repeatedly. Oh boy, left the comment section open again. Ha ha ha. Someone needs to teach Netflix the definition of what a teaser trailer is. And where are her guns? Yeah. Fez, are you interested in listening to Lara Croft talk about her emotions and feelings?
I don't want to listen to another woman bitch and moan.
Bigot!
Huh?
Bigot! That's what the internet is going to be
Fine,
screaming at
be
you.
that way.
The internet's going to be screaming at you. You misogynist!
Oh well.
She does have some guns on her, but they're just smaller than they used to be.
So she got reduction surgery?
Must have. Wonder if she's got scars. She can play Age of
Top scars, yes.
Yeah, she can play Age of Veilguard, whatever it is. But look, at the end of the day, let's face it. The reason we all played, or watched Tomb Raider was because it was hot and it was action packed. That's why people liked the show. And what have they given us now? Well, they give us Lara Croft whining about her emotional damage and her tits are reduced. And there seems to be less action in it because she's worried about talking about her feelings. Like, no wonder fucking no one wants to watch this show. There's a trailer for it on the bottom of this article. I don't even want to watch the trailer. Despite negative reviews and seemingly poor reviewership, Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft gets a second season. Oh, go for it. Just waste your money, Netflix. So, Crystal Dynamics announced that the Netflix animation series Tomb Raider: The Legend of Lara Croft will receive a second season despite the negative reviews. What are your thoughts, Ferrets? Do you reckon it was just reviewed because the message? Or what are your thoughts?
Honestly, if this is the best that Netflix can do,
Like, it's fucking Lara Croft, dude. How do you fuck up Lara Croft?
easy. You hire whoever they hired to do this, and then don't actually babysit them, and then this is what happens.
Like, this should be a slam dunk. This should be so freaking easy to do. But anyway. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Are you buying Tomb Raider or are you skipping it? I know there's a new game that came out. I'm not even interested in playing that, to be honest, and I'm not interested in watching Netflix shit. If I get bored and I have some little biddy over for the night, maybe we'll watch it then, but yeah. Baldur's Gate 3 developer blasts Ubisoft sales strategy. If gamers should not get used to owning their games, then developers must get used to not having jobs. Michael Dose, the company or director of publisher for Baldur's Gate 3 and developer Lara Studios, blasted Ubisoft in the wake of a number of blunders, including the price of the Prince of Persia. So it was rumoured earlier this week that Ubisoft disbanded its team at Ubisoft Multiplier that worked on the Prince of Persia Lost Crown. The rumour originated from French YouTuber channel Origama? Not sure about that. Whose host declared, in recent days at Ubisoft Montpellier, whatever that name is, we're transporting boxes from one floor to another, and it's quite a symbol because it's this dissolution not announced to the public, but completed the team of the Prince of Persia Lost Crown. But not completed of the team. Yeah, some of these, I'll tell you what, some of these writing. The host went on to share that the decision to disband the team was made shortly after the game released, the beginning of the year, and released on January the 18th, 2024. Is anyone not surprised? Was anyone surprised? Sorry, I should say. That they've disbanded the team. Like, as far as I know, Prince of Persia wasn't a bad game. It just didn't resonate with people. No one brought it. Did you even know it was out?
No.
No. Neither did I, actually, to be honest. Like, who are you aiming this game for if you're not even letting people know? Like, I played the original when it came out. It was good. It was like a side scroll sort of game. But what I was going to say was, at the end of the day, that like but also keep in mind too, Baldur's Gate 3 is pretty woke. So his argument here is not that the game's woke and is losing money. His argument is that gamers don't have a guaranteed, or the gaming studios don't have a guarantee that gamers will buy their studios just because they've made the game. Like, at the end of the day, it's entirely up to gamers what games they do and don't buy. They don't have an obligation to buy any of them. And he's right, but also the fact is the reason why gamers aren't buying these games is because of the woke DEI shit. But, yeah. Anything you want to add on this before we jump off? Jump on the next story?
No, actually, I do not.
And the last story for the day, XDefiant, executive producer, claims Ubisoft has no plans to shut down after Season 4, but admits its numbers are down. Mark Rubin, the executive producer on Ubisoft's live service free-to-play shooter, XDefiant, responded to rumours claiming that the company had no plans to shut down after Season 4. Rubin posted on X, to be crystal clear, there are no plans to shut down after Season 4. I've literally been in meetings as of last week to discuss our second year plans. He continued, but right now, as of the super focused on the technical experience, which includes netcode, and adding more content for Seasons 3 and 4. However, he admitted that the players are down, we have done very little marketing, so yes, our numbers are down, but that's just giving us the team the time to get the game in a better place before we do a big spend on marketing. X Defiance, have you played it, Fritz?
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know if it's something it sounds like interesting, or it's got the usual female boss, minority boss, it's typical woke shit. But at the end of the day, there's so many FPS shooters around, you got to compete against them, and like, holy shit, would you? That's an uphill battle, but. Anyway, anything you want to add on this? No?
Nope.
Any stories or anything that you've got that you want to talk about before we jump off?
No.
No? There's nothing really. It's been pretty slow. Star Citizen news has been pretty slow because obviously we just got over SitCon.
Yeah, pretty much.
And we're still waiting for Star Citizen Live and stuff to come back. There's been a few patches, guys, when it comes to Star Citizen. Obviously giving a quick update on that. But yeah, it's we got a patch today that was for the PTU for 3.24.3. We also did get a Veilguard playtest for 4.0. That was on the 26th. So that was 3 days ago. But yeah, at the end of the day, it looks like they're still doing the Veilguard playtest for 4.0. And they've still got the PTU for the live or the 3.24.3 PTU. But that we presume would be the IAE patch. When does the IAE start, Fritz? Next week?
November 22nd.
So a month away. Just shy of under a month away. Apart from that, anything else we want to talk about?
Nope. Not at the moment.
You can go back to doing the game now?
Yeah, fine. You can go.
Alright guys, let us know what your thoughts are in that comment section below. Apart from that guys, obviously the video has been helpful. Please smack that like button. If you're new to the channel, welcome and subscribe. You want to say bye, ferrets?
Goodbye, ferrets.
Have a good night everybody. Enjoy and we'll see you next week.